The United States is withdrawing its troops from Afghanistan almost 2 decades after President George W. Bush sent the US military into the Asian country in pursuit of Osama bin Laden and the Taliban government accused of harboring him and other terrorists in the wake of the 9/11 attacks. It's been America's longest war. Here's a brief reminder of why the US got into Afghanistan, the costs, and why it's leaving. Qaeda launched attacks on the Twin Towers in New York and the Pentagon, along with a failed attempt on another high-profile target on September 11, 2001. Nearly 3,000 people died, and bin Laden, who masterminded the attacks, became the primary target for the United States. None of the attackers were Afghans, but the country was the base for Al-Qaeda. Less than a month after the attacks on October 7, the US and UK militaries began an air campaign against the Taliban, followed by ground forces which supported the Northern Alliance of anti-Taliban fighters. The Taliban regime had collapsed by December 9, 2001, but now an insurgency led by the group has regained significant territory. Bin Laden escaped from Afghanistan in December 2001, and it wasn't until almost 10 years later, during President Barack Obama's first term, that he was located and killed by US Special Forces.
The United States has conducted an operation that killed Osama bin Laden, the leader of Al-Qaeda.
In 2003, the US diverted much of its focus and resources to its invasion of Iraq. With just 8,000 US troops in Afghanistan, a period of peace and stability was envisaged. However, while nation-building attempts did begin, the fighting was far from over. By the time Obama came to office, the Taliban was resurgent. At the end of 2009, there were around 100,000 US troops on the ground. In April 2021, President Joe Biden announced a full withdrawal of the remaining 2,500 US troops, quickly followed by a NATO announcement that it too would withdraw. Estimates for the death toll of Afghan civilians since the start of the war range from 50,000 to 120,000, and that number is increasing as US forces leave and violence escalates. Millions more people have been displaced. Almost 70,000 Afghan troops are thought to have died, along with around 3,500 from the US and NATO-led coalition forces. Close to 4,000 private security contractors from American firms are also believed to have been killed. The Cost of War project at Brown University estimates that the US has spent a staggering $2.26 trillion and counting over its 20 years in Afghanistan, taking all costs into account. It also borrowed to fund its operations, and interest payments alone have been put at $530 billion. And this year, with the US troop withdrawal set to take place by September 11, there's been a major uptick in violence, with civilians in the firing line. UNICEF recorded a 29% increase in civilian casualties in the first quarter of 2021 compared with the same period in 2020. Uncertainty remains over what's next for Afghanistan, but 20 years on, the country is not at peace, and a power vacuum is already emerging.